Let's see how much Marlon Brando really earned throughout his entire career. We're talking about the man who revolutionized acting, the original method actor, the rebel who changed Hollywood forever. Our story begins in 1949, when a young Marlon Brando appeared in an Actors Studio television episode called I'm No Hero, playing a doctor for an estimated $500. This was early television, and the scale was roughly $100 per day. Not exactly glamorous, but everyone has to start somewhere, right? Just 1 year later, Brando landed a television pilot called Come Out Fighting, playing Jimmy Brand for an estimated $1,000. These were the pre-fame days, when Brando was still establishing himself and working for standard Screen Actors Guild minimums. But then came 1950, and everything changed. Brando made his film debut in The Men, playing Ken Wilczek, a paraplegic World War II veteran. For this powerful performance, he earned $50,000 up front. Here's something incredible. To prepare for this role, Brando spent 3 weeks living in a veteran's hospital, staying in a wheelchair the entire time, even when cameras weren't rolling. That level of dedication was unheard of at the time, and it set the tone for his entire career. The following year, 1951, Brando exploded onto the cultural landscape with A Streetcar Named Desire, reprising his Broadway role as Stanley Kowalski. According to the New York Times contract from April 1950, he earned $75,000 for this breakthrough performance. The film adaptation introduced Brando's raw, animalistic style to the world, and suddenly, everyone wanted a piece of him. The famous torn t-shirt scene became one of the most iconic images in cinema history, and it established Brando as a sex symbol, something he actually despised throughout his career. In 1952, Brando earned $100,000 for playing Emiliano Zapata in Viva Zapata. This was confirmed compensation, and it marked Brando's entry into the six-figure club. What's fascinating is that director Elia Kazan had to convince Brando to take the role because Brando was worried about portraying a Mexican revolutionary as a non-Mexican actor. His commitment to authenticity was already showing. Brando maintained that $100,000 rate for his next two films. In 1953, he played Mark Antony in Julius Caesar for an estimated $100,000, followed immediately by The Wild One in the same year, where he earned another estimated $100,000 as Johnny Strabler, the iconic biker. The Wild One is legendary for creating the rebellious biker image that influenced decades of pop culture. When asked what he was rebelling against, Brando's character famously replied, "What do you got?" That line wasn't even in the original script, it was pure Brando improvisation. Then came 1954 and On the Waterfront, the role that would win Brando his first Academy Award. He earned $100,000 confirmed for playing Terry Malloy, the boxer turned longshoreman. The "I could have been a contender" scene is considered one of the greatest moments in film history, but here's something most people don't know. That scene was filmed in a real taxi with a borrowed cab driver because the production was so low budget. The raw, cramped intimacy you see on screen, that was completely authentic. Later in 1954, Brando played Napoleon Bonaparte in Desiree for an estimated $150,000. His Oscar win had officially boosted him into a higher tier. By 1955, he commanded $200,000 confirmed for playing Sky Masterson in Guys and Dolls. Despite being primarily known as a dramatic actor, Brando took on this musical role, though he reportedly hated every minute of the singing and dancing. In 1956, Brando earned an estimated $250,000 for The Tea House of the August Moon, playing Sakini. His salary was steadily climbing, reflecting his box office power and critical acclaim, but nothing could prepare Hollywood for what came next. 1957's Sayonara represents one of the most lucrative deals of Brando's career at that point. $2,600,000 confirmed. This wasn't just a salary, it was $300,000 upfront plus 10% of the gross from a box office of roughly $26 million. This kind of profit participation deal was revolutionary at the time and showed Brando's savvy business sense. The film addressed interracial relationships during a time when such topics were controversial, and Brando used his star power to push for social messages. He followed with The Young Lion in 1958, earning an estimated $300,000 as Lieutenant Christian Diestel in this World War II epic. By 1960, The Fugitive Kind paid him an estimated $500,000 for playing Valentine Xavier in this Tennessee Williams adaptation. In 1961, Brando both starred in and directed One-Eyed Jacks, earning an estimated $500,000 as Rio, though he also had profit participation as a producer. The film famously went over budget, and Brando's perfectionism led to massive production delays. Here's where things things get really interesting. In 1962, Brando shattered all previous records by becoming the first actor ever to earn $1 million for a single film. Mutiny on the Bounty paid him $1 million confirmed, marking a historic milestone recognized by Guinness World Records. However, the production was notoriously troubled, with cost overruns and delays that some blamed on Brando's difficult behavior on set. After that peak, there was a slight dip. In 1963, The Ugly American paid an estimated $750,000, as did 1964's Bedtime Story and 1965's Morature. These political dramas and thrillers kept Brando in the high six-figure range consistently. In 1966, The Chase earned him $880,000 confirmed, which included $750,000 base pay plus $130,000 to his production company, Pennebaker Productions. That same year, The Appaloosa paid another estimated $750,000 for this western. By 1967, Brando's choices became more eclectic. He earned an estimated $500,000 for A Countess from Hong Kong, notable as Charlie Chaplin's final film, though it carried lower prestige and lower pay. Later that year, Reflections in a Golden Eye paid $750,000 confirmed upfront plus 10% of profits. In 1968, the satirical Candy earned him an estimated $1 million, showing his willingness to take on experimental projects. Then came 1969's The Night of the Following Day, where Brando earned just $50,000 confirmed for a quick role. This was followed by Burn the same year, an international epic that brought him back up to an estimated $1 million. And here's where Brando's career hit a rough patch. By 1971's The Nightcomers, he was earning just $50,000 confirmed, a shocking come down for an actor of his stature. But then lightning struck twice. In 1972, Brando took a role in a film directed by a young upstart named Francis Ford Coppola. The Godfather would revitalize his career entirely. He earned $250,000 confirmed up front, but here's the tragedy. Brando sold his back-end points for $100,000, potentially losing out on $11 million as the film became a massive hit. The production initially didn't even want Brando due to his difficult reputation, and Coppola had to fight tooth and nail to cast him. Brando's screen time was only about 15 minutes, but his portrayal of Don Vito Corleone became the stuff of legend. The cotton balls in his cheeks. That was Brando's idea during his audition. That same year, Brando earned $3 million confirmed for Last Tango in Paris, which included $250,000 upfront plus profit participation. This controversial film shocked audiences with its explicit content and earned Brando yet another Oscar nomination. After this second career peak, Brando commanded massive salaries. The Missouri Breaks in 1976 paid $1 million confirmed upfront plus 11% of gross receipts above $8.85 million. The film paired him with Jack Nicholson, creating one of the most anticipated matchups in Hollywood history. And then came the big one. In 1978, Brando earned an absolutely staggering $19 million confirmed for playing Jor-El in Superman. This included $3.7 million upfront plus 11.75% back end for roughly 12 minutes of screen time. This remains one of the most lucrative deals per minute of screen time in Hollywood history. The producers were desperate for a big name to lend credibility to this comic book adaptation, and Brando's involvement helped legitimize superhero films as serious cinema. Also in 1978, Brando did voiceover work for the documentary Rowney for an estimated $50,000. Then came 1979 and two wildly different projects. First, he appeared in the television miniseries Roots: The Next Generations, playing George Lincoln Rockwell. But here's what's incredible. He donated his entire $25,000 fee to the NAACP. His performance won him an Emmy, and his donation was a powerful statement about racial justice. Later in 1979, Brando earned $3,500,000 confirmed for his legendary performance as Colonel Kurtz in Apocalypse Now, which included a $1 million advance. Francis Ford Coppola gambled everything on this film, and Brando showed up overweight and unprepared, having not read the source material. The result? Some of the most haunting, improvised dialogue in cinema history. The horror indeed. In 1980, The Formula paid $2,700,000 confirmed. By 1989's A Dry White Season, Brando was earning $3,300,000 confirmed upfront plus 11.3% of gross, though he donated these earnings to anti-apartheid causes, showing his continued commitment to social justice even in his later years. The 90s saw Brando remain a high earner despite limited screen time. The Freshman in 1990 paid $3 million confirmed upfront plus percentages, essentially parodying his own Godfather character. In 1992, he earned $5 million confirmed for a cameo in Christopher Columbus: The Discovery, though the film bombed and earned him a Razzie nomination. Don Juan DeMarco in 1995 earned an estimated $3 million, while an unreleased film called Divine Rapture paid an estimated $1 million in 1996. Also in 1996, The Island of Dr. Moreau paid an estimated $4 million for one of the most notorious productions in Hollywood history. The shoot was complete chaos, with directors being fired and Brando showing up with bizarre demands, including wearing an ice bucket on his head in one scene. Yet somehow he still commanded top dollar. In stark contrast, 1997's The Brave paid just $50,000 confirmed, which was essentially union scale for Johnny Depp's independent film. Free Money in 1998 earned an estimated $2 million. Then came The Score in 2001, Brando's final major role opposite Robert De Niro and Edward Norton, paying $3 million confirmed up front. And here's a fun one. In 2001, Brando earned $1 million confirmed for a one-day shoot playing a mob boss in Michael Jackson's You Rock My World music video. One day of work for $1 million. Even posthumously, Brando's voice appeared in projects. An unreleased animated film called Big Bug Man paid an estimated $100,000 for voice work, and in 2006, the Godfather video game featured his voice as Don Corleone for an estimated $100,000 estate fee recorded before his death in 2004.